Welcome back, and special conversation with regard to the budget, as we always do on a daily basis. Let's bring on board Amit Anwani, research analyst at PL Capital, to talk to us about how the defense space as a whole will likely shape up given the budget, and what should one expect in terms of the budget and the numbers which will likely play out. Our defense spend, Amit, as a percentage of GDP is quite low, of course. Can we expect maybe a double-digit bump up this year with regard to the allocation, the defense allocation in the budget?
See, historically, as you rightly said, as a percentage of GDP, we have been typically around 2% plus minus 2.2%. But what is also more important to understand is that the absolute growth over past 7 8 years has been kind of 7 to 8% CAGR. And now, if we really see the kind of approvals which are given by the Defense Ministry under DAC approvals, which we call, there has been a significant increase in that approvals, which finally will come out for tendering in next 24 months. So that way, I think the absolute defense capital spending would probably still be growing at between 8 to 10% consistently for next 2 3 years. But I don't think as a percentage of GDP, which is expected to grow at 7 8%, as a percentage of GDP, we'll be seeing a drastic change in terms of percentage per se. Because I think in terms of approvals, we have picked up, and in terms of certain CAGR, which could be 100, 200 bips higher than the previous year's CAGR, that is something which is expected in terms of defense allocations probably this year and next year also.
Okay, and Amit, hi, according to you, which companies are likely to benefit from the possible increase in allocation in the upcoming budget?
If you see budget allocation even this year, like when we speak for F20, FY26 was about 1,80,000. And past 2 years, it was between 150, 160. And as I discussed with you, over past 7 8 years, the CAGR is 7 to 8%. Now, what is very important to understand the beneficiary companies is what is the allocation between within the defense budget. So just for instance, the allocation over past 4 5 years for aero engines and aircraft has gone up significantly. It is more than 60,000. It benefited in terms of order intake to HAL. And I believe that proportionately, air engines and aircraft definitely should be better even for the upcoming budget as well. And where HAL could be a beneficiary because a few helicopter orders still pending for approval and could be tendered out in upcoming few months. And HAL has been talking about almost 1 lakh plus crore of order pipeline still pending for approvals, which can come to them. Most important, we have seen there has been a talk of, let's say, QRSAM missile clearance, and there has been talk in the recent DAC, the approval was given to Astra missile, which will be integrated with the LCA platform. So there has been a good noticeable missile orders which are on the verge of clearance and which can be a focus point in terms of defense allocation, which can benefit Bharat Electronics and Bharat Dynamics. So these are few companies which would benefit. And I think the large proportion, if the defense budget overall defense budget sees an increase, I think defense electronics companies, including Bharat Electronics, Data Pattern, Astra Microwave, could be the beneficiary in that case.
Okay. Amit, India, Germany, they're on the verge of finalizing a landmark defense agreement for submarines, 6 submarines to be precise. It's expected to be India's largest, or rather single largest, defense contract till date. Who would the beneficiaries on the India side be?
Right. So this is one of the biggest, as you said, 6 submarines, and I think the project has been under pipeline for almost 3 4 years in terms of approvals, and there was a bidding from L&D along with the JV partner and MDL along with the JV partner. I think most probable winner or the container could be Mazgaon Dock Limited, since they have proven in terms of submarine executions in the past. They have the capability to simultaneously execute 10 to 12 submarines or ships simultaneously. And I think they have the capability and they have proven track record in terms of executing the submarine orders. They have done Scorpion series deliveries for submarine. And I think MDL is sitting at about 35, 40,000 order book. And this order which you discussed could be potentially more than 40,000 plus crore order. And this would be a major order for MDL if it comes to them in terms of multi-year revenue visibility. So I think with this order, definitely MDL has a good chance here.
Okay, and Amit, while you're projecting 12% year-on-year revenue growth for defense companies, you expect EBITDA margins to remain flattish. Now, what's giving you the confidence that margins would remain around the 25% mark?
This is very company specific. The HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics, if you see today's revenue of 32,000, a lot of revenue which is included is ROH, repair and overall, which is expected to grow, let's say 5-7%, and it is margin accretive part. But as they start delivering many platforms in next 2 to 3 years, the manufacturing component is going to go up along with the growth, overall growth. And typically, manufacturing component is slightly lesser. I would say rather there's a good noticeable difference in terms of margin between the two. So we are expecting some margin normalization over the next 2 years, let's say for HAL. And for other companies, I think Bharat Electronics, we are assuming 27% margin going forward. They have done the same. So there it is kind of in that range, plus or minus 1%.
And would you emphasize on order book or order execution, given the stretched cash conversion cycles? How would you, as an analyst, look at this?
See, today I would focus more on execution because order book, as I said, anyways, many companies have won significant order book. If you see, HAL has moved from 30,000 to 250,000. Even Bharat Dynamics was less than 10,000. Now they're at more than 25,000. Bharat Electronics has also seen kind of 1.5x, 1.3x increase in the order book. And this has all happened in past 3 years. So many companies are sitting at very strong order book. And even if there is 1 year, probably on next 12, 18 months, if the orders are here and there, which is not expected, I think the order intake, even for next 2 years, is kind of very healthy, which is indicated by the DAC approvals and AON approvals, which we talked about. But I think execution is very important, where government also focused by localizing so that there is lesser import dependency on the supply chain. The government has been focusing on transfer of technologies for many platforms so that many things can be manufactured in-house despite they coming in from any global player contract. And I think in the past, government did work on the offset contracts also while having a foreign procurement just to support the local industry. So I think these are few points which could help here in terms of what you asked.
Okay, Amit, appreciate that view and thanks so much for your time. On that note, we'll let you go. But yes, yours, that was Amit Anwani of PL Capital talking about the defense expectation from the budget. But time for a quick break. On the other side, we'll keep the conversation going. So stay tuned.